Alright, we're streaming. We're streaming.
Oh,
See?
that's good. But I always see them plugged into my freaking thingy. Thingy.
What?
A thingy. They're plugged into my thingy. To my charger. My buddy John, he plugs it into my charger. And I just get him and just throw it in.
I ran over mine.
So you had to buy a new one.
I had to buy a new case. Actually, I went to go buy a new case, but the Apple guy felt bad for me, so he gave me a new case.
Dude, Apple coming through in the clutch.
Yeah. It's sad.
I'm sorry. So, talk about memes, yeah?
Sure.
Memes are crazy.
What are these memes you speak of? What
happened?
Oh, there it goes.
White box challenge.
Oh my god.
Actually, really do it.
Ruh-roh, your internet is acting wonky.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It says it's not receiving enough data. Yes.
What does that even mean? Is that a thing?
Apparently. Who knew?
I don't know what to do with this insanity. Cool. Anyway.
So we're gonna talk about the fake stuff, right? Too.
Yeah, deep fakes. So we'll start with deep fakes, and then we'll talk about some memes, crazy memes. Sure. I guess. I don't know, man. These memes are insane. I didn't even know these were memes. Like, I feel so behind looking at these. I think we're just gonna talk about memes in general.
Okay.
So to educate people, because this is insanity.
This is our public service announcement.
Yeah.
I think it does raise a big concern though with the deepfake stuff.
It does. That's why I want to talk about it.
Okay.
But like, there's so many crazy.
Why do we do memes? Because the deepfake is kind of a meme in itself, right? So why don't we start off with memes, and then go into the deepfake, and then go off into the tangent of why this is concerning, and then we'll do last movie.
Cool.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Is that a good flow to it, or should we just
whatever?
Or should we just Michael or Zack Snyder it?
Let's do whatever we want.
Yeah.
Do whatever we want.
Let's just steal money from people and ignore their time, disrespect their time.
Okay. Hello and welcome to It's Going to Get... I was going to say movie fun again. Hello and welcome to It's Going to Get Stupid, your favorite pop culture podcast. My name is Jose.
If you know the name of the movie you want to see, press 1 now. And I'm Richard.
Hey everybody. I was going to do the movie phone thing because that thing's awesome. If y'all never... Look, first off, hopefully y'all all know what movie phone is. If you don't know what movie phone is, I probably talked about it before. But you called in to 1-800-MOVIE-PHONE.
Before Fandango existed?
This is before the internet, actually. Like, you couldn't just go, first off, hey, let me take y'all to a crazy time where you couldn't just hop on the internet, period. I had AOL, and AOL did not have internet access at the time.
No.
So, like, and when I say internet, I mean the World Wide Web.
It was very closed off.
Yeah, it was just like, hey, here's some pictures of Batman. Cool. Because DC was part of the Warner, which owned AOL. So you can get pictures of Batman as much as you want. Woo! But you couldn't really do anything. You could chat, you could send emails, but that was it. Like, you really couldn't do a lot of just web surfing, like certain on the websites. So you couldn't watch... First off, your modem couldn't even handle streaming anything, so you couldn't watch a trailer.
No, it could not.
So you'd have to call into 1-800-MOVIE-PHONE, and it would tell you, like, what's playing at your theater, the theaters around you. Or what movie, you could listen to movie trailers, which I did all the time.
Yeah.
And it was a free service. Did you know that the only way you could find out what other before Movie Phone, the only way you could find out what's playing your theater was to look at the newspaper?
The newspaper.
Do you know that the newspaper still has those things?
Or you could just show up at the theater and just randomly see what's playing.
It's like, oh, let's go to the movies. I remember just going to the theater and just being like, okay, let's go see this. This is cool. I don't know what time it's playing. Oh, we got an hour before it starts. Okay, let's go do something else for a little bit. But anyway, yeah. So the guy, when you'd call it, and be like, thank you for calling Movie Phone. If you know the name of the movie you'd like to see, press 1 now. So yeah, we're gonna talk about. That was a good.
That was the end of the episode, guys.
It's all about Movie Phone. Does anybody have any questions about Movie Phone? Hey, if you'd like to hit us up about Movie Phone, it's going to get stupid at gmail.com.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm really into this.
That was perfect. I think I sped up saying it so that I'd catch him in the middle of the yawn.
You can tweet us at IGTGS Show.
You can go on to Facebook and look at your history, like, you know, how it shows you your memories, and look at the Movie Phone call you made later. This is a way too long introduction to It's Going to Get Stupid / Facebook. No, Facebook.
You could go visit Facebook's little sister, Instagram, and post a picture of you using Movie Phone. And It's Going to Get Stupid.
I didn't even give you the right URL.
It didn't.
It's facebook.com / It's Going to Get Stupid. You can go to the website.
Really? You just skipped over YouTube. YouTube, go search for It's Gonna Get Stupid podcast.
I'm Zack Snyder. This whole thing.
Find us on Twitch. Find us on Twitch at It's Gonna Get Stupid, and give us a call at 281-698-7538.
You can still go to the website www.itsgoingtogetstupid.
You could, but why would you?
Why would you donate money? Obviously,
I think that donate button's gone.
It's gone, is it?
Yeah.
Well, pretend. Just pretend. Go on there and pretend. Beep 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 beep. Today we're going to be talking about memes. So I mentioned to Rick about a meme of "I'm sorry, John." So if you don't,
it's really creepy.
Garfield. It's so basically this dude. I can't remember his name. Crap, I had it pulled up here. But this guy, Bill, Jimmy. I think his name is Jimmy. No, William Burke. William Burke.
Wow.
That's close. Bill. He posted a black and white drawing of Garfield last year on Instagram, and it was like a really weird looking, grotesque Garfield.
I have seen these.
I require lasagna.
Yeah.
And so he made a couple more, and everybody like freaked out about them and thought they were amazing. So he kept making them, and then everybody exploded and started making all these like little videos and little animations of horror, like a cosmic horror Garfield.
Cthulhu monster Garfield.
Saying, I require lasagna. And then they kept saying, I'm sorry, John. And like there was John Arbuckle was like hiding in the corner, like shaking, and it was like, I smell you, John.
I'm impressed that you knew his last name.
John Arbuckle?
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah, man. I love Garfield. So anyway, so I was talking about that, and so we started thinking about memes. Memes are crazy, okay?
Yes, they are.
And I thought about, and I don't know if, because so in effort to like research this a little bit, I started looking at memes for this year, and I didn't realize there are so many things that there's considered a meme.
Yep.
Right? Everything's a meme. Every little thing that gets any kind of like focus,
little challenges
from pop culture. Yeah, there's challenges that are memes.
Yeah.
There's little sayings that are memes. There's freaking creepy drawings of Garfield that are memes.
And there's always the Office memes.
Like The Office.
Yeah.
Well, and then like now they're doing. You know what I really like? I'll tell you what I really like. So when a show ends, or like when Avengers came out and then Endgame came out, Infinity War, they do like the movie but as a meme or and they show like a little clip of something, and they show like little headings of people like, this is Tony Stark, and there's a guy running into a wall or something that's supposed to make you think about the movie. Or the one where they do the one where it's like, I don't want to no spoiler review of this show, and they just put pictures of stuff, and it's like when they did it for Game of Thrones, and they do something, and it's like I don't know, like a hot dog getting smashed or something.
Or it was just a solid black screen for the last episode of Game of Thrones.
So I like those. I like those a lot. I watch a lot of videos that are video game memes with different little sounds and clips that go into things. There's also the anime side-by-side picture memes. Like they have one for this, I don't know, Sasuke. I don't know a lot of anime.
Yeah. But
he's being choked, and so they have all these other like pictures of regular people choking him. And one of them is Gordon Ramsay, like looking like this, and he's choking him out. I think it's interesting because there's like ingenuity that goes into this to really think about this. and then people get really hyped about this stuff.
One of my favorites is I know you don't like The Walking Dead, but there's a scene when they're in the prison era of the Walking Dead TV series, where Andrew Lincoln is talking. He's talking to his son, who is
Carl.
His name is Carl, but he always pronounce it Coral.
Coral.
And so, like, one of them, like, there's all these jokes that takes a picture of this scene where he's like kneeling down talking to his son, and his son looks really sad and disappointed. But one is like a Mexican magician tells the audience that he'll disappear at the count of 3, and then he says uno, dos, poof, he disappeared without a trace. Without a trace, Coral. That's my favorite. That's one of my favorites. It's all time.
A big meme that came out recently was the Storm Area 51. Like, see, here's the thing about memes.
If enough of us go, they can't stop us all.
They like blow into town.
Yeah.
Like your weird, crazy uncle who's an alcoholic, and they come and mess a bunch of stuff up, and they mess your feet up, and everybody jumps on it, and they're posting stuff about it, and everybody's crazy, and then they just leave.
Yeah.
Just leave without saying
anything. That guy did it as a joke. He set up this event as a joke.
Of course. But everybody ran with it, and they're like, you can Naruto run. To the point where I feel like it wasn't a joke anymore, and the Air Force had to come and say, hey, really, don't break into Area 51.
Because we will stop you.
Like, we'll kill you. We're going to kill you. I'm sorry. We have to defend things in here.
Yeah.
And then there was something about, like, learning about Naruto running and all this. I'm like, can you imagine, okay, a joke that happened, an internet joke, and you have to sit in a briefing to learn about what Naruto running is. Like, somebody had to really, like, hey,
in the military.
Yeah, this is the new Naruto run. It's like a popular anime, and he runs with his arms back. They showed a diagram of it, and then they're like, what are Kyles? Okay, this is what a Kyle is. Like, seriously, like, they had to explain all of this stuff because people just went insane with it, to the fact where Old Town Road did a memeified version of it. I thought they did a really good job, though. The song is trite.
Trite is an insult to trite. Saying that song is trite is an insult to trite.
But
that is a terrible song. That song is a meme of itself.
It's a meme in itself. It actually
is a meme within itself.
I think he made it as a joke, and that's
song is terrible.
They had
his name is Lil Nas X.
Anyway, they had the little Keanu Reeves meme. The short Keanu Reeves.
I vaguely remember that one.
But when they did the Area 51 one, they had it like me and my alien hanging out, and it was like a little mini. You had all those memes of John Wick's dog and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, still his dog. But there's one where there's a guy like he's smiling, and it's like, hey, there's only one guard left, and then it's like, but that one guard is John Wick, and then they have the little, he'd be like, oh face.
Yeah.
Pikachu. With the surprise Pikachu.
Yeah.
That's a great meme.
And then there's the guy walking with his girlfriend.
And
he's looking back at the other girl. Yeah.
That's a good one too, man. That's the one I did. I think I did one for the show. And
I think you did.
Like Spider-Man, he's walking with Spider-Man
yeah.
Animated series and looks back at X-Men or something like that, or maybe it's Batman animated series. So no, memes are interesting. I just think that they're so like intensely focused for a long time.
The challenges were get me.
The challenges?
Like, you partook?
In the Cinnamon Challenge.
In the Cinnamon Challenge.
It was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
There is a Bird Box Challenge where you walk around with your...
That's dumb.
With your...
Do you remember planking?
Yeah, I remember planking. It came back. Like, they did more planking again. Planking, that's a meme. So, like, a meme is any... That's the problem with memes. A meme is any... Like, trying to explain memes to people is really difficult, and especially older people like me. Like, trying to explain to me, I don't know what you're
like, we're on the cusp on like, the outs.
Yeah, I barely know what is a meme anymore. And things that I didn't realize were memes are now memes.
Are now memes.
Yeah.
Our lives are memes.
Our lives are... Really?
I don't know.
We're
I don't know.
Memes?
I was trying to say something.
Wow. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy.
Yeah. But I think the other one that's a little bit more concerning, and Jose and I were talking about this earlier, is all the deepfake stuff. Like, there's a lot of memes that are coming out based on like deepfake technology. And if y'all don't know what that is basically software has gotten to the point where it can take a video map somebody's face to it, and then you could basically make that person and take the audio, and as long as you have enough to sample with it, you could basically make that person say anything that they want, anything that you want them to say.
Anything you want.
And also map that person's face to where it actually looks like they're talking, or map someone else's face on top of theirs to blend it in. A lot that actually happens to a lot of comedians. I think there's an Instagram account called The Fakening, where that's all he does is like do these like little fake videos, and it is funny like to see some of them happen. It's also really scary.
Yeah, so I mean, a couple of one where they had our president saying something that was. And see, here's the problem.
Surprisingly, not real.
Surprisingly, it wasn't something he said, but I would have believed it 100%. I was like, oh yeah, obviously he said that. You know, they had Jordan Peele saying something.
Yeah.
And they deep faked him in there.
Yeah.
There's this guy who does full interviews of Bill Hader.
Yeah.
And when he does a impression, it changes that person's face, and it is pretty seamless. It is so scary. Like, oh wait, I'm looking at somebody else, and they're talking, and it's moving as if that person is talking. You're like, oh. And you cannot tell. Like, you really cannot tell.
You really can't.
I mean, obviously, yeah, like, they move in a certain way and it looks kind of stilted, but the technology is growing rapidly to the point where you can't tell at all. So, what does this mean for us as a society? Because, like, video evidence was a big thing. Like, oh, man, you got you on video, now that's it. And now, even if you are on camera, they'll be like, oh, no, they faked that. That's faked.
Yeah,
that didn't happen.
Like everything can be fake.
Kind of like Photoshop. But then again, I guess Photoshop they thought was going to be the
you can still find like evidence of someone photoshopping.
Well, so one was a digital evidence. Is there digital evidence of someone photoshopping a picture?
Yes,
because you can see when things were.
You can see where things just don't look right.
Well, but like if you what I mean is in the history of it, like saying, hey, this was created on this date.
Yeah, you can start to see timestamps, things like that. I don't know that if you actually, I mean, if you ever look at what like a picture is, like in just like pure like digital format, it's just a bunch of numbers.
Yeah.
So I don't know that you'd actually be able to tell like from a file standpoint, unless you found out that you'd have to be able to take a photo of the thing that you're trying to prove that it's a fake of, and see if like the math works out.
Okay.
Right. I think that's the only way you could do it. But if you zoom in close enough to where someone's like Photoshop somebody out, like you can see little artifacts.
Okay.
Of things like that. Like no one ever does like the most perfect job.
So I'm guessing
Photoshopping.
With the deep fakes, you have a similar kind of technology where you can't.
You would, but it's so much harder to tell.
So I don't think I'm like concerned about like it being used in court or anything like that. That's not really the concern, right? The concern is you could put a video out as a meme, as a joke, and people think it's true.
Oh yeah.
And even if you have now said it's fake, it doesn't matter.
Well,
people think it's true.
Look at War of the Worlds, right? Mm-hmm. Like the original radio drama that came out. They announced within like the first 2 minutes of the production that this was fake. Right. But if you don't catch that, if you're not there for that 2 minutes, and the whole thing just goes on, there's no commercial break, there's no like stopping it. It's just a whole radio drama. When people didn't catch that first 2 minutes of like, this is a work of fiction, please enjoy the show, people were freaking out and literally thought aliens were invading the planet, and they were getting ready for like the end of days kind of thing. And that's something that I think this could lead to that, right? Like where someone hijacks television signal or posts it on the internet or whatever, and people start acting in hysteria before they realize that it was something that's fake.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I just think of all the damage you can do to a person.
Yeah.
Or even, like you could put something out there and fake it. And I think about what people don't research now. Yeah. They don't even take the time to figure out, hey, is this because photos, again, you'll see a photo of something and it'll be like, and have a caption at the bottom and be like, oh, that's terrible. Well, I'm going to forward that on to somebody else.
I mean, how many political Facebook shares do you see a day
that are just totally wrong and misconstrued, whatever it is, or they are faked.
Yeah.
Like they took someone out of the picture and no one checks to see, like, oh, that's terrible. Oh, they're not wearing.
And it happens on both the left or the right.
Yeah, it's just all people just trying to like incite some kind of whatever against the other party. So this is just another tool in their tool.
And then you have the Russian bots.
Yeah. So I mean, it is kind of scary technology, and it just goes to show that we don't always make the best choices with our technology.
No,
we just think, oh, this is kind
How
of
about we make no good choices with our technology?
We should just go back to the Stone Age.
I think
we
so.
should just get rid of all technology.
Yeah.
What's that show?
Except for this podcast. This podcast should stay on.
It's the only thing, but we have to do it on a ham radio now. Sorry, breaker. I don't know what the ham radio is. We could sing.
When I was a kid, I literally thought it was a ham.
We could sing the Never-Ending Story on a ham radio.
Oh my gosh. It's my least favorite part of season 3.
I love it.
Yeah.
So good. Such a good show.
But I think it's interesting. I mean, like, we worry about, on this podcast every now and then we talk about the things that are concerning us. The robots coming out of Boston Dynamics, super scary.
Especially now that they're not owned by Boston Dynamics.
Yeah. The deepfake stuff. I mean, how quickly do things spread on the internet before someone actually does some fact checking? And to see, I mean, we could be.
But even if they did fact check, and that's the.
How do you know? How do you know it's real?
Yeah, well, I mean, even if you fact checked it, the other people aren't going to. Yeah. I mean, it's already okay. There are already websites that disprove a bunch of other stuff. That even if you give people that website now, they're like, no, that website's not true.
Yeah, because then they have a website that disproves that website.
Yeah, it's like, what the heck? And nobody, who knows what the truth
you used to be able to go to Snopes.com and be able to say, like, oh, this is real, this isn't. But then even people have started saying that that's biased.
Well, because Snopes is biased.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, but just because someone's biased doesn't mean they can't say truth. But who knows? And nobody knows the truth. There's not really a good source of truth on the internet. Which you probably shouldn't be getting your truth from the internet.
No, you shouldn't.
But when you go to a credible source and they also are getting fooled, because that's what's happening.
Yeah,
that's not good either.
Yeah,
because they're trying to push an agenda. Anyway, I'm not trying to get too political.
Yeah,
deepfakes are terrible. It's a terrible thing.
It's scary.
Funny, super funny, but also very terrible.
That's also scary.
I just think somebody could put my face saying something, and saying something about women.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
Saying something about women.
Yeah,
I never said that. And I could say, hey, I never said that, but it's on the internet, it's posted, other people are repeating it and putting it out there. It's like, well, everybody's saying this. Well, do you have proof that you didn't say that?
We should all wear body cameras.
I'm like, what do you mean, do I have proof? How would I even prove that I didn't say that, So that's, and then even if somebody says, oh, that was done with technology, but it's gone to everybody else.
Yeah, you can't stop it.
Your reputation is kind of tarnished at that point.
Once something hits the internet,
It's kind of like going to jail for indecent exposure when you didn't do anything, and now you're like a sex offender. But you didn't do anything.
You exposed yourself, though.
No, but you didn't do it. I'm just saying you didn't do anything. Someone just said you did something.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like a false accusation. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
And now you have now for the rest of your life, every time you move.
Even if the case was dropped.
Yeah.
And you don't actually get
you're still always a sex offender.
People are like, wait, you had a case on you or something. They could find it in the public record, and they're like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe the evidence wasn't good. Anyway, so I don't like it. Don't like it at all. I'm old.
Get off my
lawn, deep fakes. But memes are fun.
They are fun. I just think we need to be responsible with them.
Well, we also make fun of everything.
Yes, we do. Nothing is taken seriously.
Nothing is taken. Like going to Area 51. That's a real serious thing. Don't go to Area 51.
Don't go to a military base.
Don't go to a military base.
Thinking you're going to Naruto run and dodge bullets. And let's just put this out there. If they do have alien technology there, don't you think they have something that if Naruto running was a real thing that you could dodge bullets with? Don't you think they would have some alien technology that would probably just laser beam the entire field of people?
You can't Naruto run? Lasers. Sorry, you're going to die. Lasers.
I'm just saying. Don't do it.
So if you send us some memes, the best meme will win a used gift card. Send us a meme.
With 23 cents on it.
Send us a meme at itsgoingtogetstupid@gmail.com.
Tweet us at IGTGS Show.
Facebook a meme to us. Facebook.com/itsgoingtogetstupid.
Instagram a meme at itsgoingtogetstupid.
You could also YouTube memes. Meme YouTubes.
Meme YouTubes.
No, search It's Going to Get Stupid podcast to watch us talk about memes.
Find us on Twitch and play terrible video games at It's Gonna Get Stupid.
You could also
play terribly at video
go to our
games.
website, www.knowyourmeme.com.
Oh, I don't even know if that's a real website.
It is.
281-698-7538. The lines are open.
Call us now with your memes.
Operators are standing by.
They're meming you. Rick, what was the last movie you watched?
The last movie I watched was a movie called Culture Shock. It was
a movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a movie. It was on Hulu.
Whoa, Hulu makes original content.
It was a Hulu original. What's funny is they started doing the opening credits are like it. They do. Never mind. I can't explain it right. It was just silly for them to do it. They would do like a film by, such and such, like by Hulu, and then they would take one word, and then instead of it being English, it would be like they would do it in Spanish. But one was like production, and then one was
what
like
for this one movie.
Yeah, for this one movie.
Oh, because it's a okay.
But it was really weird how they did it.
So it's the opening.
Yeah, the very opening. Anyways,
so what is this movie about, Rick?
This movie is about.
That was very loud.
It was. I think you peaked a little bit.
I peaked.
This movie was about a woman named Marisol who is pregnant, and she is trying to cross the border for the second time. She tried once. She hired a coyote to take her across.
No, I think you said it wrong.
Coyote?
It's coyote.
Sorry. She hired a coyote to take her across. And ends up being raped.
No.
The first time. And so she tries
coyote?
No, by her boyfriend.
This is not a time to joke.
by her boyfriend.
It's terrible.
And then the movie picks up where she's trying to go back again, right? Like
So she tried to go once.
And she didn't make it.
Did her boyfriend make it?
Yes, I believe so. And she was too slow, and so they all just kind of ran separate directions. She ended up going back to Mexico. So the movie picks up with her trying to go back the second time, but towards the end of her pregnancy. And so she's trying to get to America so that her and her baby can have a better life, because she feels burdened by the life that she lives in Mexico. She feels like there's an opportunity, and she's buying into that dream that America is the land of plenty and opportunity. You can basically do whatever you want. I mean, that is a reality, right? I mean, we are the land of opportunity, and there's people that need to get here, and there's people that are trying to leave bad situations who are trying to come here, but they're getting stopped by crazy detention camps. Anyways, this movie picks up basically they get caught. While they're crossing. I'm just going to spoil it because.
Whoa!
Do you want me to spoil it or not spoil it?
I don't care.
It's been out for a few months. So this movie, they're about to cross the border. They're really close, and they actually run into the cartel, and the cartel is executing somebody. And so the cartel starts chasing them. They all start running in different directions. Something happens, and they all black out. And she wakes up in this utopian middle of American apple pie slice of a town called Cape Joy, where everyone dresses in pastels. It's always sunny, no clouds in the sky. It's a perfect 70-something degrees. And she wakes up not pregnant anymore. She's been assigned this kind of helper who has her baby, but she can never hold the baby. And so that kind of starts freaking her out. And she starts to realize that people are all acting weird. It's very Stepford Wife-ish, to where they all kind of seem like they're robots, and they're all been brainwashed. And so there's a kid that's crossing with her, back in reality. There's a guy who is seemingly a murderer at this point who is crossing with her. It's this. Oh. And they're all shiny, happy people, right? They all have smiles on their face, and they all seem brainwashed. And so she starts digging in more into it. And basically what ends up happening, and I'm cutting out a lot because I don't know if you should watch this movie. It was an interesting story, but it wasn't what I was expecting at all. I was expecting more of a real story, like a real crossing, like a drama, crossing the border, kind of a drama, suspense, kind of. No, this was a straight up horror movie, in the Jordan Peele type of horror movie, where it wasn't there's not a boogeyman hiding under the bed. There's just really weird crap happening. Basically, what the government has hired this private contractor to do is create these detention centers where they're not in prison. They're basically hooked up to virtual reality goggles with tubes that are feeding them 24/7 or whenever they have food, and they're living in a simulation. And so she starts to realize that there's things that are weird, there's things that are kind of off, for instance, whenever they eat dinner together, like everyone devours their food like they haven't had a meal in forever. Well, it's because in real life they have a food that's being shoved down their. They have a tube that's been shoved down their throat.
But is there a bunch of white people?
It's mixed. It's mixed. That's why she's like. That's the first thing that catches her off guard is that in this utopian town, there's Hispanic people. There's people from different countries, mostly Hispanic people, and these white people. All the white people are artificial intelligence built in. They're NPCs, basically non-playable characters in the virtual reality simulation. Outside of one or two people that are actually running the simulation, and so she finds a way to actually exit the simulation, and basically wakes up with these virtual reality goggles on her face, and then the story kind of devolves or kind of evolves into them trying to get out of this detention center. And oh my gosh, are you playing it right now?
I just wanted to see the opening.
Well, you can mute it.
I tried and it didn't work quickly.
And so it's this weird kind of like Twilight Zone story about what an extreme would happen as far as like people crossing the border and them going into these weird simulation-based detention centers.
This seems like it costs more. I don't think it's a good idea.
I mean, they're not feeding them well.
Oh, okay. So that's like feed them food.
No, like
they don't do anything for
them. They showed the tubes going in, like it's just like this spider web of tubes going out to all these people, and they're just being fed this brown sludge through a tube.
I'm just trying to see how ridiculous this scenario would be, or if it's actually feasible for our government to do this.
No, it is feasible. I would say it is feasible. I think it's ridiculous that you could have a simulation that looked as real as theirs did, because it was all like the simulation was made to look like reality, right? Yeah. I think we're still a ways off from there. I mean, maybe in 10 or 20 years, that would be the one factor that couldn't be replicated. But I think we'll get there at some point. Is it out of the realm of possibility that this is being researched? No. Right? Like all good science fiction is based off a little bit of science fact, right? So it was interesting. It was an interesting story. The acting was decent in it, but it just wasn't what I expected. Like the trailers make it seem like, yes, there's something wrong in the town that she ends up in, but not to the extent that it's more like a Jordan Peele. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's so weird. And then like original is just original.
It's just original.
They didn't change it to anything.
Yeah, yeah. It was unnecessary.
Yeah, that was dumb, guys.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I don't recommend watching this movie.
Not that great of a movie.
It wasn't that great. It was, yeah. It was a Hulu-made Jordan Peele film.
I haven't seen too many Hulu original movies.
Yeah.
The shows are okay.
I mean, Handmaid's Tale is one of the best things on television.
Runaways is really good.
Yeah.
I like Runaways.
So yeah, Culture Shock. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a C. It wasn't terrible.
Better than Bird Box?
No, I enjoyed Bird Box way more.
Okay. Better than Bright?
Yes.
Those are my like layers of like, what about Mother?
Anything is good. Okay. Better than Bright.
That's not true. Come on.
No. Would you rather watch Transformers 2 or Bright?
Ooh, that's tough. Oh man. Ooh.
Honest moment.
I'd probably want to watch Bright. I hate Transformers 2.
I hate Transformers 2 as well.
I mean,
I don't want to poison my eyes with Bright ever again.
I like Will Smith though. That's fine.
Yeah, that's great. But we all make mistakes.
That movie was a mistake.
It was. What was the last movie you watched, Jose?
Speaking of Will Smith, I watched Men in Black. Not the original, the new one, Men in Black International. Will Smith was not in this film.
He's in a painting.
He is in a painting.
Yeah.
Him and Tom Lee
I still haven't seen it.
Heard
it wasn't great.
So, the movie is about
Thor and Valkyrie.
Thor and Valkyrie after they beat Thanos. And they go off on a wild adventure. No, it is I can't remember. Tessa Thompson
Chris
plays and Chris Hemsworth. She plays basically she's a little kid and she witnesses an alien but she hides the alien and her parents get flashed, neuralized.
But she
doesn't.
Right.
So she believes that aliens exist. So all of her life she has tried to find the Men in Black in aliens. And people think she's crazy, and she's got all these degrees, and she's amazing, and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so she's scanning to listen to see if there's weird activity. So she finds this alien that comes to town, and she follows the Men in Black back to where they drop him off, which is that same area, whatever. She sneaks in there and goes down, gets caught by Emma Thompson.
Okay.
Right? There's double Thompson?
Sure.
It's Emma Thompson?
Thompson squared?
Is it Emma Thompson?
I don't know. I'll look it up.
Okay. Anyway, who is Agent O. And she basically says, like, hey, look, I've been trying to find you guys. I found you guys. I really want this. And they make her a probationary officer, which is stupid, okay? They just would have neuralized her and sent her on her way. But whatever. That's how you get to the movie. So she sends Agent M to...
It is Emma Thompson.
Awesome, man. Two Thompson twins. Hold me now. Anyway, sends her to London, where Chris Hemsworth is, and also Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson's awesome, by the way. Okay.
I didn't realize he was in this movie.
Yeah, he's high T.
High T.
He's not Agent T. He's high T because that's what they do in London, baby. Anyway, so basically in the past, him and Agent H, which is Chris Hemsworth, have fought this alien called the Hive, and they beat them in the Eiffel Tower. And it's this big, save the world. It's a big thing. But ever since then, he's been a little off. So they get together, hijinks ensue, right? They go off. There's this plot about the aliens, kind of weird. Okay, so similar Men in Black stuff, okay?
Yeah.
Right? There's a plot, these aliens...
Not reinventing the wheel. I mean, we are... Yeah.
You're not reinventing the wheel.
Yeah,
it's the same dang thing, right?
Yeah.
And so, I'm going to spoil the movie because it doesn't really matter. Khalil Namjani? Is that his name? I don't know his freaking first name. Kumail Nanjiani is great. As a little bitty character, he's a little bitty alien.
It's Pawnee.
He was really good, great delivery. Like probably the best thing about this movie, sadly enough. Yeah. But the movie was just lackluster. Like it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really like. Like I remember seeing the original Men in Black, and it was like really.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Second Men in Black was okay. I mean, it wasn't bad.
Didn't realize there was even a third Men in Black.
I've never seen a third Men in Black at all.
Didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, it sounds great. Didn't care about it. This one just seemed it just didn't capture the same feeling for me.
Yeah. And
Tessa Thompson's character is a little too blasé and self-assured. I don't know. I just didn't like it. Chris Hemsworth's like a lovable oaf, and it didn't work for me. I don't know. It worked in Avengers because it was a similar kind of thing, right?
You think maybe they were just tired?
I mean, it feels like they were kind of like whatever about the performance.
I mean, they don't have to really make money anymore.
Like they don't care. I mean, I don't know.
Tessa Thompson,
because I've seen Tessa Thompson in like what was that movie with Natalie Portman? That sci-fi movie.
Annihilation.
Yeah, that was she did great. That was a great movie.
Wasn't she in that movie? Sorry I Bothered You, or
yes,
the one with
she
the telemarketer.
Was really good in there too.
Yeah,
and that movie was creepy and crazy. Did you ever watch that movie?
No, never did.
Don't ever watch that movie.
Okay.
Don't ever watch that movie. Don't. It was good though, but don't watch it. This is weird. Anyway, she did really good in that as well. So I mean, I've seen her act really well. This was just a phone-in performance.
Yeah.
What you kind of expect from. But then again, if you watch Will Smith in the original Men in Black, he does not phone in his performance at all.
No.
Tommy Lee Jones does, but Tommy Lee Jones phones in every performance.
I don't care.
he doesn't care. Except Tommy Lee Jones didn't phone in a performance for Batman Forever.
You're right, when he was Two-Face.
Oh man,
or in the first Captain America.
No, he really phoned it.
Yeah,
Come on. Tommy Lee Jones has never acted except for in Batman Forever.
This is very
where
true.
He was just like over the top. Like he was like, what do you want? Like Schumacher, I could see Schumacher in his face like, Tommy, you have to do more. And he's like, what do you want from me?
He's like,
Tommy,
I don't care.
You have to do more. It's like, I don't care what you want. Tommy, do more. And then you see Jim Carrey going, Tommy, come on. Yeah, dude, come on.
And then they threw a bag of cocaine in his face.
Yeah, basically. And then he went insane with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this was like Liam Neeson was phoning it in too. I was just like, oh man, and I watched a lot of movies in two parts, so they have to really keep my interest. It took me a long time to finish the rest of this movie, and it ended with like a twist that I already knew was coming, and I was like, oh, okay, he's really the bad guy. High T is actually still part of the Hive.
Sure.
And it's not really Men in Black.
They didn't actually defeat him.
No, they didn't actually defeat him. They neuralized Agent H, which is why he's so weird now, because he doesn't actually remember what happened. And then
So is Men in Black Hydra now?
No.
Is that kind of deal?
They just defeat the Hive and that was it. And then he wins and like, there's nothing to it, right? Like that would have been cool if like now you're like, wait a minute, has Men in Black been infiltrated the whole time? Can we trust anybody?
Yeah.
No, it was like, hey, we killed the one bad guy. Obviously, there are no other bad guys. Everything's fine. We're good. You get a promotion. Done. I was like, cool. That was great. I'm glad I watched that movie. So,
you know what bothers me about movies like this? This has nothing to do with what you're talking about.
I'm glad.
The fact that Tessa Thompson is a British actress.
And she's playing American?
And she's playing American, but then goes to London.
I mean, that's actually acting, Rick. That's
but why
acting.
can't? But
they're all British actors.
With America being such a melting pot of different cultures, why can't she just use her accent?
Because Americans don't like that. That's another podcast for another time. Yeah. Americans do not like that. They don't want that.
It bothers me that people don't get to use their accent.
Nope, they don't want it.
Yeah.
Then when they do, it's weird. Nobody cares. They do it a lot in other foreign films.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Don't care.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah. Whatever. I mean, I think I watched something in India and it was just like
they don't care at all. They're like, whatever. Just speak. Just use the lines. Come on. Anyway. Yeah. So Men in Black. Those hoodlums. Men in Black's not. I mean, it was okay. If what you're expecting is like the magic of the first two movies, it's probably like the third one. I've never seen that. But it just was.
I'm convinced it doesn't exist.
It does.
Like it's like a Bernstein Berenstein
No, because
thing.
not John. It's freaking Thanos, wasn't it? Thanos, the guy who played Thanos.
I know, but what's his name?
Oh, I don't know.
Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin was in it.
Yeah.
He played young Tommy Lee Jones. That is awesome in and of itself. I should really watch.
So Will Smith was not in Men in Black.
Will Smith was also in Men in Black 3. Yes, he was in 3 Men in Blacks, bro. Why is Will Smith not in this one? That's what should tip me off the first time. Like, why is Will Smith not in this movie? Not even a cameo.
Or he should have come back as the villain.
No, I would have been too on the nose. I think just having him.
Really? That would have been too on the nose?
Having him in the hall.
That would have been too predictable.
Having him in the hall.
Sliding, like pushing a chair.
Yeah.
Like he did in the test in the first movie.
So. Also, there was the scene which really pissed me off, okay? So they're going to find this arms dealer, and she's an arms dealer, and she has 3 arms. So, take that to what you... I know that was a joke that they made, and it really made me angry. But then, like, that little alien that she found at the beginning of the movie is her henchman, right? And so that's how they get out of the thing, because she's like, oh, wait, you're this kind of alien? Do you know? And she repeats back to what he said at that time, and it's all this... It's so stupid, and I'm just like, can they not find an ingenious way or an inventive way to get out of the situation? Nope. No. So it's lazy writing.
It's unobtainium.
Yeah, it's lazy writing, and it's just, I mean, I don't know what I expected from Men in Black International, but I like summer blockbusters. Like, again, let's go back to the well here. Fast and Furious, okay? Yeah. Since you know what you're getting, you like it, it's action, it's good, it's not too much, it's like the right mix of action with funny jokes, and it's just like a perfect freaking movie, right?
I think we determined Independence Day was our most favorite summer blockbuster.
Is the best summer block. I'm gonna go watch that right now.
Welcome to Earth.
Welcome to Earth. Jeff Goldblum at his best.
Yes.
Before the Nat Geo stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
100%.
Hey, did you like either of those movies? Did you watch Culture Shock and were like, wait a minute, this isn't the movie I thought it was gonna be? Or did you? Never mind. You can email us at itsgoingtogetstupid@gmail.com.
Tweet us at IGTGS Show.
You can join the conversation on Facebook, facebook.com/itsgoingtogetstupid.
You can do something on Instagram at It's Gonna Get Stupid.
You can tube the U's on YouTube. Just search us up. It's Going to Get Stupid podcast, and you'll see us live or not live.
Watch us play video games during the week. We usually stream at 10 p.m. Central Time. Look for at It's Gonna Get Stupid. You know what you can do on our website? You can look at past episodes and listen to them. You can. And they're amazing. Just go to www.itsgoingtogetstupid.com. Or leave us a voicemail at 281-698-7538. Awesome, y'all. Just remember, Garfield's not your friend. But always keep a pan of lasagna in the fridge. Area 51 is a good place to storm if you're Will Smith. Naruto running is not real. Oh yeah, this whole podcast has been a deep fake. Sorry.